This is more on the Agasha lecture. Um,
it's a very interesting. That person is forgotten by society. Yes, that's true, disciples. A mortal can be forgotten. And that mortal can be forgotten, although they have served beautifully humanity. But it is the trend of thinking by the Master's disciples. And therefore, it is not that we want recognition. It is that we want to learn how to live each day of our life as though we're going to live forever upon this earth plane. When we do this, then we're going to be the happiest person that could ever be, because you've seen with the light. The man who goes out to seek treasure, you very seldom hear of that man who seeks the treasures ever finding the treasure. Any more than he goes out to seek gold is the man that very seldom finds gold. The prospector that may live, exist, and have his mortal being, will say, he's seeking for gold. Some days people will come upon that old prospector, we might say, died in vain. And he had not found what he had been seeking. He was searching for something. He thought it be gold. Although he be very old upon the earth plane, we'll say, according to the calendar, because he's worn his body out, digging, praying under his ground. Yes, he's searching and seeking for gold. In reality, he was searching to find his higher self. When did he find it? When he expired. Is he a happier man today in the outer world after spending 30 and 40 and sometimes 50 years seeking for gold and very little he found? Always the person who had grubstaked him, for the reason that they too said, oh, this will be wonderful if we grubstake to this man. He's willing to work. He finds the gold he shall share with us. All that goes on and on and on. What a pity. You may call it a quirk to disciples. The man who seeks gold very seldom finds it then. It's the man that may have all the world and come upon a base. Because it can be said, from a comic standpoint, disciples, those who have gifts. And this doesn't make sense in the eyes of society, but it does when you study more deeply in the field of our philosophy. You receive your just deserts in this life. Why could not God have come and saved the man from going all through that pile of the earth plane, seeking, dreaming, seeking, dreaming for gold? Now, disciples, that just gives you an understanding. You cannot falter. You want the divine awakening, and it's not handed to you. It's right there within yourself, and you must come to that realization. You're to be that channel that He wants you to be. And I'm proud because the many of you who had followed me during these past months, who had reached the pinnacle and on your way to the third degree, you have come to realize the importance of your seeking in this direction and listening to the minds who have been released from the physical, one who has the great understanding, and certainly not disciples, that mortal mind of yours that had gotten you into trouble down to the years of your life, made these blunders, these mistakes. Are you going to trust in that mortal mind that had deceived you? If you do, then disciples, the result shall be inevitably the same. Let's trust in God Let's work in harmony with God's law. Let's seek the kingdom of heaven that be within. Let's bring it out into light, disciples. Let's live it each day. And the only way it will come is by living each day, by thinking properly. You want to be the true channel. This means then you have an understanding to enable you to be a natural individual and a normal individual upon this earth plane, balanced in every department of your life. Because if you are other than what I say, then you are abnormal upon this earth plane, disciples. You're not deriving out of life what you should. And very often we make a spectacle of ourselves in society because of our great belief or whatever it might be. Thus we term ourselves, or we be a fanatic. You're not rabid on any subject, disciples. Because you are the way, and if you, the I within, be the way, it certainly is not in the wrong direction. That's what we say, in God we trust. The very essence of life we trust. That which moves the body as you move it about upon this earth plane. This is what, disciples, gives you the opportunity to accomplish the thing, to fulfill your life, your mission in this existence. Thus prepare for the reward that awaits you. There it is, everything that you created. I go to prepare a place for you in the great conscience of immensity. And I say that because it is the I within you that builds the kingdom, the consciousness of heaven, disciples. But we live it on this earth plane to take it with us and to live in it in the great consciousness of eternity. So let's be conscious of self now, disciples. Let's be conscious of our unfoldment. Let's stay on the path. Let's do everything we can to fight the mortal, to conquer the mortal, and not overshadow God, because it can be said that the demon is just as powerful as God, and this never made sense to the average person, but it would seem to me by this time in this generation, and according to what you've learned in history, that good is just as powerful as bad, and bad is just as powerful as good. And out of good comes bad, and out of bad comes good, as we study the case more deeply. But remember, disciples, the same law that we employ to do good is the same law that we employ to do bad. It's demon and God, good and evil, disciples. And therefore, the demon has control today. God has control tomorrow to turn a war within you. Just know that the outer mind cannot control your life. That God come forth and bring light and peace unto you, and you'll see that you will have many wonderful things presented to you. You'll unfold properly. You'll be a proper channel, and then you can understand your teacher as he comes to introduce you to your higher self. You'll be taken into that blessed kingdom and have these experiences, and eventually bring back memory and see lights and colors and symbols and things that we want you to satisfy us. Just to God's self, of course not, disciples, to satisfy that mortal being, that mortal self is yours, that needed to be satisfied among the people of the earth plane. When that mortal mind is satisfied, then perhaps it'll give itself over to the God kingdom. But do we need to falter? Do we need to waste our time? Give ourselves over to the mortal self and say, I want to please my mortal self first before I please God. This would be ridiculous. Let's now awaken the God kingdom. Let's obey the dictates of the God self. And let's be patient with the mortal until it does comprehend. That's why the teacher takes your hand and stands close by you and works with you until you can say that you are fully unfolded properly in the light of God, that then you can go wherever your soul desires, continue whenever your soul desires, because you are truly your own instrument, and that's what you're striving for at this time.